Intrusion.
What's wrong? Is it the undead we've been fighting?
Corruption seeps in, Dweller. It overflows here. Staunch it.
That explains the bones. The Revenant's awake. This one's even stronger. Ready to go. What? It's drawing power from the Fade Tear.
Its wounds are closing.
Just end!
Running cover.
Good work, It's gone. And the Fade Tear, too. That'll slow down the gods' plans, at least on this island. The Fade Tear and the Revenant are both gone. The Revenant left its essence behind, like before. These Revenants aren't just undead. There's something more.
Regrets. Isn't that what the caretaker said?
Soulless. He left so many of his memories in the crossroads. Maybe the gods raised the worst of them as watchdogs. Makes sense. What's harder to face than your most painful memories?
Dweller, corruption seeps in.
Another Revenant.
The Evanurus gnaw the roots. Their teeth, his regrets. Destroy what rises.
Another of those blighted Fade Tears.
But we know how to handle them. Let's get to it.
Corruption, undead. I'd say we found out who's responsible. Here it comes!
A wellspring drip.
That's it! It's weakening the Fade Tear. Made it through.
The Fade Tear closed. Another Revenant destroyed. Another essence gained. That makes 3 essences. We should start looking for somewhere to use them. Every one of these gets us a little farther. There. That must be why the Revenants were raised. To keep that door sealed. Time to see what the gods are hiding in there. Light up ahead.
All this blight feels like we're choking on it.
We can feel it down there. Ready?
Here goes nothing.
Eyes up, weapons ready. Been feeding on the blight. Destroy it before the corruption eats us alive!
Corruption staunched. The Avenura cease their gnawing. The crossroads heals. A sanctum renewed, dweller, as is needed.
We did it! The dragon must have been the god's final weapon to take the crossroads.
Losing a powerful asset like that, let's hope it slows them down.
Let's go. It's quiet. That spirit we've been chasing must be waiting inside.
You ignored each warning, scoffed at every taunt. With every death, I tasted freedom. For without the door seals, I can take on a worthy form at last. Witness the greatest treasure of the dead.
A demon and an undead dragon.
The fight won't be pretty. Now!
A door safely locked for ages, and how swiftly you came to plunder.
Now it's your turn. Standing, not bad.
Looks like we're doing this. Now's our chance.
Once I leave this place, I will let all the unworthy humans that try to change me. You think I can die once more? I will not give up this war!
Vulnerable. Hit it hard.
1,000 years until I can return! No!
There. It's over.
I've never seen a demon possess something that big.
You return. We are content.
Why are you here? What do you want?
Not now. Not yet. We will show you. Soon.
This just gets weirder every time.
Antoine? Antoine!
Yes? Yes, the blight samples. They're like nothing we've seen, or anything in the Warden records. And I almost hear voices in it. The gods calling the blight.
I can't hear anything. But if you believe me,
We knew things were bad. But if the Blight's being called, the situation's more unpredictable than we thought. We need to...
I give you two reign, and this is where it leads. Chasing Rook's lies.
First Warden...
Stay away from the Blight and the Wardens. How many times must you be told?
Until you listen, I'll be here.
Not helping. Rook knew something was wrong.
I can hear it in the samples. The gods. She's telling the truth. The blight has changed. And that changes everything.
It changes nothing. Your sensitivity to Blight is useful, Warden Antoine. But you've had more than one snake in your ear.
He's trying to help.
Enough! You tampered with a ritual that unleashed Blight. You did not know what you were doing then, and you don't now.
If gods control the Blight, we need to change how we approach it.
Archdemons control Blight, and we'd sense if one had risen. We'd make the sacrifices needed to fight it.
But we...
The Blight has increased. Now is not the time to lose focus. Wardens Evka and Antoine, are you sworn to combat the Blight?
Yes, but...
Then report back to Weishaupt and do so.
That went poorly, even for a talk with him.
What an asshole! A lot of people are gonna die for his arrogance.
Maybe.
So much for convincing the Wardens.
We can't give you the order, but you have us.
We'll keep tracking the Darkspawn and the Blight. We'll do what we can.
And if we learn the gods' plans, you will too.
The elven god of monsters had been hard at work. She'd taken the Darkspawn and made them so much worse. Now, she and Elgar'nan had their glorious new army. The risen gods were ready. And they had just the target.
He finally agrees to meet for a report, then he all but calls you a liar.
I think you were included in that.
Thanks.
Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
Please do. I need to hear an actual voice now and then.
Can't imagine why.
I'm starting to dream that I'm a griffin. Squawk.
Asan, it's bad manners to not answer someone.
Right. So what brings you by?
Just curious, really. Wondering what it's like being a Grey Warden. They've always been these legendary warriors living apart from the world.
Don't know about that. I spent time with people who were bad right up till they took their vow.
How so?
Weishaupt is the last stop for the wrong sort. If you're facing prison or worse, you can always join the Grey Wardens and take your chances with the Blight.
I've heard about Weishaupt. Never been there.
It's a giant fortress and home of the Grey Wardens. It's been standing for as long as anyone remembers. At least since the first Blight.
Does it have floating buildings like the lighthouse?
No, but things float up from the latrines.
Fun bunch you hang out with.
The wrong sort have their charm.
And just how wrong are the wrong sort?
Thieves, brigands, pirates, and the odd murderer now and then.
Sounds fun, right up to the murdering.
At least now they're murdering Darkspawn.
Has your first warden always been, well...
A stubborn bastard?
One way of putting it.
He means well in his own way. He's old-fashioned. Tradition is everything. Keeps us disciplined. We never deviate from it.
He'll have to. Elgar'nan and Gillenane won't play by his rules.
If he even believes in them. The man doesn't have much imagination. Even the right sort can be the wrong sort.
I'd rather take my chances in prison.
It's not all bad.
When does it get good?
When Darkspawn threaten a village, when innocent people are in danger, then we swoop in, swords held high, armor gleaming, while 100 faces look to us for salvation. And they all live to see the sunrise because of what we do.
Okay, now I get it.
Best part is the warden fighting alongside you. Maybe they've done some bad things in the past, but after that day, it's different. There's some honor in their life where there wasn't before. Nothing like seeing redemption happen before your eyes.
We all need that chance. Put past sins to right.
It makes the warden stronger to have people in our ranks who've lived in the shadows. When the storm comes, you don't want farmers and florists fighting archdemons. It takes the wrong sort to put the world right.
Kind of like us, I suppose.
Minus the skeleton butler.
Oh, I don't know. Man for the warden. Has a ring to it.
How about we quit while we're ahead? See you around.
Why do you run around in fancy mage clothes?
Because I like them?
You're barely even wearing a shirt.
You fight Anton with a bare midriff.
Everything all right?
We're fine. Just trading fashion tips. So what I wear is a problem for you?
It's not. It's just... Why dress like that? Are you trying to make your mother happy? Is this about what your mother said on the beach? No.
What'd she say?
Tasha's mother said that Tosh acted more like a man than a woman.
And you feel like you should wear dresses to make her happy?
No. Can you imagine me in a dress? I'd look stupider than I'd look stupid. You wouldn't look stupid in a dress, if that's what you wanted to wear. I don't want to wear a fucking dress!
Clear and to the point. So, what do you want? Your mother didn't just make you angry. Something she said got its hooks into you. Why?
It feels... right. When she says I act more like a man. It feels... right. Why does it feel right?
Tosh, do you like being a woman?
Nobody likes being a woman.
Ah.
This is stupid. Forget I said anything. Hey, it's not stupid. I do like being a woman, but if you don't, maybe that's something to think about. But what does it mean? It could be about your mother's expectations, or about how it feels to be a woman and Kunari. Or maybe it's being a woman, period. How would knowing that help? It won't change anything.
Some of my friends in Minrathous talk about not feeling comfortable in their own skin. As a man, as a woman. I could see if they'd like to talk. Maybe what they say fits how you're feeling.
Yeah. Okay. And thanks. You do look really pretty.
Oh?
To look at. I'd smudge your makeup.
Thanks for letting me down gently.
Lucanus? Where is he?
Back, demon! No further! Isn't standing up to them supposed to work?
Let Lucanus go! Don't make us hurt both of you! What's going on? Lucanus?
It's not Lucanus, it's the demon. It's taking him over. He's trying to leave.
Smells like jam and brimstone.
Rook, do something!
Spite. This man is not your puppet. And stunts like this won't change that.
How did... Rook? Dash?
You tried to walk through the Illuvian in your sleep.
Spite wanted out.
I need coffee.
You can't just caffeinate your way out of this.
It's hard for Spite to take control when I'm awake, so I try to stay awake.
You can't just stay awake forever. I think that would kill you.
I'll be more careful next time.
We have to make Spite understand that he's endangering you.
He's Spite, not learning. He doesn't listen to anyone. Don't worry about it. This won't happen again. And thanks.
Rook, interested in visiting the Memorial Gardens?
What are you up to?
I must tend to some rites in the necropolis. I'd like to show you its more peaceful side.
Hey, glad you stopped by. I was gonna grab drinks with the Lords of Fortune at the Hilt. Come along if you want. Get to know the Lords. Sounds good.
I saw the Hivernal flying by with my own eyes, big as the sky, and ready for the lords to come be heroes. we take it down, and the village nearby will eat like kings and love us for it. It had bright red and blue scales. They'll be worth a fortune, even beyond the Horde.
That's not a Hivernal. You saw a Calton's on. And she's acting normal. She's not one of the dragons blighted by the gods. Going after her would get us killed for no good reason.
I'm gonna have to side with the Lord of Fortune's resident dragon expert.
You sure you're not just scared, Tosh?
Fight it if you want. Tell us where to send your stuff after it kills you.
Aw, sorry, Cutter. Tosh gets final say. We leave the Caltons on alone.
You think I can't fight a dragon just because I don't breathe fire?
You can't fight a dragon because you don't know what you're doing.
Fine. You're the expert.
One less thing to worry about. If the Calton's isn't an option, what else have you got?
There's rumors of another dragon off to the west. Heard anything, Tosh?
Yeah. Not sure if it's blighted like the ones that attacked Minrathous and Treviso. But it's killing people in villages near Arlethan Forest. They need help.
Well, that's glory.
It's fire breather. They always have lairs with a horde.
And there's gold. Tempted yet?
We might be able to spare the time for a dragon hunt.
Can't wait to see what you find. Now, has Tosh told you about fighting a Gamadon Stormrider in the middle of a typhoon?
Best time to catch him.
Oh, it was glorious, Rook.
Thank you again for coming. My duties include tending to these rites of remembrance. Excellent. Manfred found his way down. Very good, Manfred.
He sounds excited.
I thought we'd start the rites here. A tableau of the dead, commissioned 173 years ago. These lives were flickers against the ages, precious, fragile, and finite. Now they serve as a warning. Don't linger overlong in the gloom. Live with grace and fervor while you may.
It's like being in a very, very specialized museum.
Yes, but the purpose of the tableau...
Wait, did one just move?
That one's livelier. Here. Who were you when you breathed above?
This body was a tailor's, a mother's. She laughed and taught and wove the robes kings wore when they were crowned.
Someone must realign her thoracic vertebrae. I hope the novices are inspecting the displays.
Seems disrespectful to abandon something you built.
Precisely. No wonder there's been an uptick in hauntings.
Wait, what?
Let's continue.
So what now?
We light candles in remembrance of the dead. Would you care to light the candle, Rook? Look at this! The last tomb of the Tannhausens, a very influential family in the Storm Age.
We broke the bones of dragons.
A posthumous motto. Their last heir met his match against a Highland Ravager.
Death by dragon? I'm surprised there was enough to bury.
Do you know, I never expected that the door we found back in the Vault of the Beloved would lead here.
So the necropolis actually shuffles its rooms around?
From time to time. Very unlikely to happen while we're inside a chamber. Could you light the next candle? Aha! One of my favorite flowers! A variegated weeping widower.
You know your plants.
Alchemy is my hobby. It's a break from teaching spirit calling and theoretical applied metaphysics.
If you ever want a side job, the crows are always looking for new potions.
Yes, as I recall, you're rather famous for it. This way, Rook.
You were right about the gardens being peaceful.
The necropolis has its dangers, but these places are a refuge for the dead.
How many people are buried here anyway?
Excellent question. We rarely should take a new census. You'll need to light these candles as well. Open your hearts to the final day, companion of all the ages. I was pleasantly surprised by your respect for our undead tableau earlier, Rook. I'm beginning to think people outside Navarra find the necropolis a little unnerving.
Crows have plenty of ceremony, believe me.
The spirits gather. Only a few more candles. Follow me. Ah, look here!
Hi. Should I say hi?
It's curious about you. We're also enjoying the gardens, but with one last ritual ahead. On your way, my friend.
Spirits really are your specialty.
I've always had a rapport with them. Even as a child, they were my companions.
After you started training here?
After I was orphaned.
Oh.
A collapsed building, swift deaths. After the funeral, the Watchers took me in.
Belated condolences, if that's worth anything.
Always. We move on, as we must, but those long nights linger about the shadows.
How did you deal with it?
I didn't. When I first arrived here, I was terrified.
And you still joined the Watchers?
They're what saved me. Come, the next set of graves lies ahead. Please, light the next candles if you would. There's much to recommend about the rhythm of a ceremony. It eases our worst hours. As a boy, the Watcher's rituals were exactly what I needed to steady my days with purpose.
And some death magic?
Well, every young mage needs a speciality. All this pageantry, this magnificent gloom and its rites, I ask you, Rook, what is it for?
It's gotta be the living, right?
Yes, exactly. This place is an abundance of history, of magic, of memories. The Watchers preserve it so the living may draw comfort from those who've gone before. We must get to the candle, please, Manfred.
You told Harding that Manfred used to be a wisp until you gave him a body?
Yes. He's taken so well to it. Haven't you, Manfred? Here are the last candles you'll need to light. Once you're ready, we'll need to ring the bell. let the rites be acknowledged. Our bonds seen and sealed. We honor the listening spirits.
Hail from the abyss.
We witness, good watcher, faith kept in all our paths.
What was...
The necropolis hosts many spirits. We thank these guardians for their protection and friendship. We'll need to ring the bell once more to close out the departing ceremony.
So you were really afraid of this place as a child?
It wasn't the necropolis itself, but what was draped around it. Have you ever been frightened by the thought of dying, Rook?
It's part of life.
I wish I'd had your equanimity when I was younger. That's when I discovered I possess a great terror of dying. It goes beyond dread. Can't be reasoned with or soothed over. It comes without warning. In the dead of night, in sunlit streets. A raw, strangling fear struck somewhere deep past the heart.
That's an issue for a necromancer.
Oddly, I discovered I wasn't alone. I debated this fear with friends. I argued with teachers. Yet, it lingered. Manfred's right. That's maudlin enough. There are struggles, but a watcher should always find peace amongst the graves. And what sort of host would I be if we didn't end with some light refreshment?
Well, if Manfred's excited, how can I refuse? Cheers, Manfred.
With all my regards, but I don't want them to think me homesick.
Hi, Emmerich.
Rook, hello. Just composing a few letters. The other Watchers have been most interested in our adventures.
What's the Grand Necropolis like?
Its majesty has stilled the tongues of kings and queens. It's a haven for spirits and the dead, a vast well of history, the duty and shelter of every Watcher. We who serve it are pledged to an eternal vigil.
What do Watchers, watch for?
There are stranger and more dangerous things than spirits in the Fade, Rook. The Watchers stand against them when their shadows rise.
And anything lately?
A few portents I cannot put down solely to the chaos of the elven gods, but nothing definitive. Perhaps only shivers in the void.
So I've heard people call necromancers mortalitasi. What's the difference between them and the Morn Watch?
Oh, all Nevaran necromancers are mortalitasi. The Watchers are a special order within them.
Very fancy.
We've certain privileges and attendant responsibilities.
What's the Morn Watch do?
Our first duty is safekeeping the Grand Necropolis and preparing the funerary dead. Another is stopping misuse of dark magic and necromancy.
Must keep you busy?
Not often, but on occasion.
I couldn't help overhearing the word homesick.
Oh, I'm fine. Completely absorbed in our venture. But if I were home, I'd be preparing for new students or requests to speak to the dead.
You didn't stop teaching just to be with us, did you?
I'm long overdue for a sabbatical. Besides, do you know how many students the faculty wanted in my class next season? 10! How's one meant to tailor separate lessons for 10 pupils at a time? Honestly.
Can people just ask you to show up for some corpse whispering?
Oh, nothing official. There are very few of us, but we help here and there. Questioning a victim of murder, clearing up disputed wills, and sometimes fetching back last words from a loved one.
You can get anything out of the dead and they just let you leave Navarra?
My gift has limitations. The dead only know what they did in life. What was clear under the sun is sometimes blurred when I revive them.
Makes sense.
Honestly, some conversations aren't worth the trouble. Death encourages obstinacy.
Good to chat. I'll let you get back to your letter.
Before you go, I wanted to thank you for your company in the Memorial Gardens. There's another ceremony I have to perform there. If you'd like to visit again. Not yet, but soon.
Sounds good. Sometimes I miss home too.
Rook, I'm not... well, perhaps a little.
You'll cheer up once we look at some graves, I bet.
The ceremony should be most centering. I'll let you know when it's time.
You seem at home here. Or is it a front? You know something I don't? So much for a straight answer.
Nev, you don't strike me as an animal person. Besides cats, maybe.
Oh, I'm not. Back home, you find a creature bigger than a cat, and it's probably half demonic. Damned if a third of the cats aren't either.
Oh, that's nothing like you, is it, Hassan? You might be fluff all the way through. It was a compliment.
Of all the nonsense we've run into, you're what's strange.
Hassan? Really?
There's been a god or two I didn't expect. But bad mages trying to make the world worse, that's not new. I had an uncle who went on about wardens and griffins. Loved the feathered things. They were always the heroes. If we're getting bedtime stories turned real, having griffins in the world again, it's not the one I'd have bet on.
Were you close with your uncle?
I didn't see him much, but yeah, we were. There aren't a lot of mages in my family, and in a city like Minrathous, it always matters. I learned quick who wanted to use me to step up the social ladder. My uncle wasn't one of them. He'd have talked your ear right off, Hassan.
You know, you're sweet with him.
Aren't I always?
I walked into that.
Sing your praises and you still want something? I'll find you a treat if you don't tell Davrin. Have we got a deal?
Hey, Hassan. Between you and me, I think I like her. A lot. Yeah.
Listen up. If Davrin finds crumbs, Rook takes the fall.
Falling. On it.
Okay, that's enough. Quiet now. Fine. Who wants a treat?
Ooh, me. I want one.
Well, I don't have any.
Why'd you get my hopes up?
A little white lie to quell the riot.
Are you sure it's little to them? Yeah, Davrin, where's my treat?
Come on, guys, give me a break. Rook?
What are we all saying?
Well, it isn't be quiet.
Sorry, it's all I've got.
Wait, you can't just leave me with the...
Good luck with that.
I cannot say.
Who created you?
I cannot say.
What can you say?
I cannot say.
Right. Deserve that.
Got the archive spirit working, I see?
Rook, you're here. And I did. Sort of. A little bit. It appears, but it won't tell me anything.
You simply ask the wrong questions. A common affliction of the weak-minded.
Also that. It's kind of mean.
You should remind that thing who's in charge.
That's an idea. Syrian learned a lot, taught me a lot about these archives. They have, well, not thoughts like us, but sort of pathways, I guess. They can only respond to specific questions worded in specific ways. So, if you're powerful, like almost God-level powerful, how would you talk to someone you see as lesser?
Given our examples, I'd be kind of a demanding jerk.
Right! So, let's try that. Archive, tell me who built you.
One of the greatest of Elvenan, a steward of her glory. Truly, I was blessed to bathe in his warmth. Anaris built me, and to him I shall someday return.
You mean the Forgotten One?
I cannot say.
Good point. It came later.
What do you mean by it came later?
Oh, I meant later after Elvenon fell. We didn't call them the Forgotten Ones till after that. They were the bad gods. Disease, pestilence, weren't supposed to speak their names. Not like the good gods, you know, Elgernon, Gillinane. But now we know the truth about the Evanuris. So we don't know for sure what the Forgotten Ones were, I mean. They used to say Solus was one, so best case scenario, like him. Worst case, well, you heard it talk.
Right. So this thing's dangerous if it belonged to one of them.
Could be, but still important and invaluable. Everything Anaris knew, this thing knows, and my people deserve to know. If I can get it to tell me.
Archive, tell me about the Evanuris.
A group of cowards hiding behind their more powerful magic and superior numbers. Their jealousy of Anaris was palpable. Their war is unending. But Anaris will prevail.
Archive, tell me about the Dread Wolf.
An ideologue and a fool who will soon pay the price. When Anaris dispatches the Evanuris, he will spare a thought for Fen'Harel.
You have a chance to learn more about your people. Go for it. Just be careful. And try not to break anything.
Right. Thanks, Rook.
All thanks must be given to Anaris, for he will cast down the oppressive Evanuris and take his rightful place.
What a shame. I can't stay longer. Good luck.
Appreciate the support.